What is a government? Government. A government is people who help us every day. These people work very hard as part of a team. You see the government at work in your own community or the area where you live. We need many government teams in our community and country. These teams work together. A government runs a school, a city, a state, or a country. It makes decisions because it is in charge. A government keeps us safe and decides what we need most in our lives. People in government also listen to us. We share ideas and work on important jobs. A government makes decisions for the people it oversees. The President of the United States leads our country. The governor leads your state. Your community has government leaders too. The mayor leads the city. The police chief, the sheriff, and the fire chief are other leaders who make your neighborhood a better place. Fact box. In the United States, there are almost 90,000 different governments. You will find a government in every neighborhood, town, city, and state in your country. Governments keep citizens safe. The police work for the government. We need them. We need a government to make laws. Laws are rules that keep us safe and help us work together. A government also makes sure we all follow laws. Even easy things cannot be done without laws. For example, would you want to cross the street if people drove their cars too fast? A government tells us what is important in our community. We listen to what they suggest. If people agree with the idea, these leaders get the job done. A mayor might say the town needs a new fire truck. If people agree, the town can buy the truck. These people are voting. People make their opinions known by voting. Governments must listen to what the voters say. A government helps run your school. They hire the people that watch over all of the schools in a district. They make decisions about what books to use. The government pays for the teachers and buildings as well. Every government represents many people. Government leaders need to know what is best for all those people. Our neighborhood. Our government wants us all to be safe. It builds police stations and fire stations. It also builds our hospitals and clinics. The government helps after a disaster. It helps take care of the old and sick. The government has a plan for what you will learn at school. Children in the same grade should learn the same things at the same time. Your teachers use this plan in your class. The plan also says you should get exercise and spend time outside every day. The government will help people during a disaster. During this flood, the government sent rescuers to help people in danger. The government builds our roads, streets, and sidewalks. It puts up street signs and stoplights. If you ride a city bus or subway, you can thank the government. It also runs our parks and makes sure we have clean water to drink. The government built the roads we drive on every day. Fact box. Basketball star Shaquille O'Neal works for the government. He works with the police in Miami, Florida, and Tempe, Arizona. Our country. Our country must protect its people. Our government has an army, a navy, and an air force to do this. Together, these groups form the military. The men and women of the military protect us. They also help other countries and protect people who live there. If a person cannot find a job, he or she may get some money from the government. This will help the person until he or she finds work. Some communities need more homes. The government may help build them. People who do not have places to stay can live there. The judge sits in front of a court and listens to both sides speak. Our government has many laws. If anyone breaks the law, they must go to court. The person in charge of the court is called a judge. The judge listens to what everyone has to say. Then the judge decides who is right or wrong. The person who is wrong may be punished for what he or she has done. The military protects the land, skies, and seas. This aircraft carrier protects many people. 3 branches. In the United States, the government has 3 different branches or parts. We call them the legislative branch, the executive branch, and the judicial branch. The legislative branch makes all the laws. The executive branch makes sure people obey the laws. The courts make up the judicial branch. A court decides if a law has been followed correctly. Every government has all 3 branches. The mayor leads the executive branch of the city government. Many people also work in the legislative branch. The United States government has 3 branches. The Constitution created the legislative, executive, and the judicial branches. The legislative branch suggests new laws for the city or town. The city's judicial branch makes decisions about local laws. The state has 3 branches of government. The 3 branches manage the government of the state. Our country has 3 branches too. These 3 branches take care of the laws of our country. Fact box. There have been 43 presidents of the United States up to 2008. The president leads the executive branch. We are now at President Trump, who is number 45. This meter reader works for the executive branch. She is enforcing a law. Checks and balances. A government needs checks and balances. This means no branch of government has too much power. Each branch can do its job, but not the job of others. Long ago, many countries were ruled by kings. A king had all the power in the country. He decided what people needed, but sometimes his choices were wrong. Checks and balances divide the power. One branch can keep another branch from making a bad decision. How do checks and balances work? Imagine your town wants to pass a new law. The law would say that no one can cut down a tree. The legislative branch can ask for the law. If the mayor thinks the law is a bad idea, he or she can say no to the law. If the mayor agrees to the law, a judge makes sure the law is fair and right. The Constitution gave Americans control of the government. Follow the leaders. Every government has a leader. A city has a mayor. Each state has a governor. The president leads our country. They are the most well-known people in the government. The mayor, government, and president lead the executive branch of their government. They make sure things get done. They tell people to do what the law says. The leaders listen to advice from the legislative branch of government. They can also ask for new laws. Abraham Lincoln was the 16th president of the United States. Mayors, governors, and the president become leaders by winning elections. In an election, people vote for the leader they want. Each city and state decides how long someone can be a leader. The president leads the country for 4 years before the next election. Fact box. Jesse the Body Ventura was famous for many years as a pro wrestler. In 1998, he became the governor of the state of Minnesota. Making the rules. Every government has a legislative branch. This branch makes new laws. If the leader of the executive branch agrees with their ideas, they become new laws. Ideas for new laws can come from all the people. People in the legislative branch talk about the ideas. They ask experts what they think. If enough people want to talk about a new law, the government may have special meetings with them. People can then explain why they like it or not. A community government meets at the town hall to make new laws. Our national government is in Washington, D.C. The legislative branch there is called the United States Congress. Congress has 100 senators. There are 2 senators from each of the 50 states. The House of Representatives has over 400 members. There is at least 1 member from each state. Together they form Congress. All of these men and women help make new laws for our country. Our Congress has offices and meets here at the Capitol. Law and order. Our country has many courts, and each one has a judge. People who break the law go to court. The truth will be explained in court, and the judge decides what should happen. The court will also help if people do not agree about a law. The judge helps decide who is right or how the law should work. A judge decides what is fair. You may have a court in your community. It serves the people in your town. You may have a court in your community. It serves the people in your town. Each state has its own courts. The government uses federal courts for problems important to the whole country. Each state has at least 1 federal court. The scales are a symbol for our courts. The United States Supreme Court is the highest court in the country. It has 9 judges. Only the most important cases go to the Supreme Court. Fact box. People call the judges of the Supreme Court justices. The 9 members of the Supreme Court hear the cases in this building. Healthcare. If you do not feel well at school, you can see a school nurse. Your school also makes sure you get exercise. The government put these programs in schools. They want you to be healthy. People get sick or hurt. They see their doctor or go to the hospital. This can cost a lot of money. Some people do not have enough money to pay for medical care. The government has a plan called health care. This plan helps some children, the elderly, and the poor. The plan helps many people get the care they need. The government can help families pay for doctor visits. The United States spends more money on health care than does any other country. Machines used for medical tests can cost a lot of money. The government helps with some of the cost. The government tests new medicines. It also helps doctors find cures for diseases. Our government helps hospitals get expensive equipment. The Post Office. The United States Postal Service is part of the executive branch of the government. It began in 1775 and is also called the Post Office. The Post Office handles all of our mailing, including letters and bills we send. We pay for mail delivery by buying stamps. We place the stamps on the letters and packages that we mail. Post offices can be small or very large. A lot of mail goes into the large offices. People and machines sort all of it. Post office workers deliver the mail. They walk to your mailbox or bring it to you by truck. The government charges a small amount to deliver letters. Some pieces of mail are not small. For example, some people buy things that must be delivered through the mail. The post office can bring the larger packages right to their homes. It says here, the postal workers bring mail to homes and businesses 6 days a week. Fact box. You will find the smallest post office in the United States in Okapee, Florida. The building used to be a shed on a tomato farm. Our environment. You see the environment all around us. It is the sky, the grass, the water, and the trees. We need these things to have a healthy life. We have also done much to harm the environment. We pollute the air and water. We have cut down millions of trees. Garbage and litter cover many places. The government knows this. Congress passes many laws to help our environment. They do not allow factories to pollute the air and water as much. The government also protects animals and the land. The government makes companies like these limit the pollution they put in the air. We can help the government in many ways. Do not litter. Try to recycle paper, glass, and plastic. Talk to your family and friends to get new ideas. Read books about how to save the environment. If we work together with the government, we can all have a cleaner world. When people recycle, the government has less garbage to get rid of. The treasury. We all use money. We have some with us almost all the time. It's not easy to live without it. Have you ever wondered where it comes from? Our government started the United States Treasury. It makes all our money. 2 factories make the paper money. One is in Washington, D.C., and the other is in Fort Worth, Texas. 4 different factories called a mint make all of the coins. You will find the largest mint in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Our government prints all of the paper money we use. The Treasury manages all the money for the banks in the country. It also collects money paid to the government called taxes. All taxes go to the Treasury. The government uses it like a giant bank. The government watches how banks use money. Fact box. A $1 bill lasts about 18 months before the government replaces it with a new one. A $20 bill lasts about 4 years. The fun side. You probably have played in a park. Some have nice playgrounds and gardens. Cities have libraries filled with books. We learn a lot by visiting a museum. You can have a lot of fun at the zoo, and you can stay cool at the beach. Many of these places would not be there without help from the government. The government formed the National Park Service in 1916. It cares for all the national parks in our country. A national park is the natural part of our country that the government protects. For example, millions of people visit Yosemite National Park in California every year. Community governments build parks for children to play in. The government knows we work hard. It also knows we all want to have fun. We like going places with our friends and family. We want places to play and get exercise. We need to learn. We need these places if we want a better life. This makes our country strong. Cities and states run zoos for visitors to enjoy. The end.